fun parts of Utah here, and much of your desert travel gates. There is some grazing around here, but I don't think like it used to be, but the gates still exist. And when there's just one of you, it's driving through it, getting back out, and closing it up. Always make sure you leave the gate how you found it. Pretty common sense for most people though at this point. To park in the shade wherever possible. Out here in the desert, it's gonna get warmer. I'm in the San Rafael swell right now. Explored quite a bit of it. This is a arch and petroglyph panel that I've kind of skipped for the most part on other visits because it's pretty close to the highway. But I stayed up late last night doing some drone filming, or I should say some drone photography, and then I got up this morning. Sunrise didn't happen, so I went back to sleep for a bit since I was up late, and then I want to get Glacier some exercise myself as well. So we are going to hike here to Spirit Arch and Petroglyph Canyon. And one of the things I like to do here when I come across something like this, I think I know what it is, but I don't always. Seek or iNaturalist. You need cell service really for most of it to work. Sometimes it'll work without. I think Glacier always gets interested in whatever I'm looking at. Yeah, we can't get full species identification. See, he gets right in there. Oh, Utah beard tongue. And we can view the species and read about it. Alright, we're at some of the petroglyphs at least. See when I get closer here. Seen this design a few other places. Looks like got a dog. And then bighorn sheep. Yep, dog. And you can see they even put in like footprints. You know, some sort of hunt or herding or something to that effect, but I don't know that I've seen them with the footprints like that. That's pretty cool. But it's always cool to see the dogs in representation because you realize how much they were a part of their lives and how important they were to them. And then I got this buddy here. Glacier? Yeah, what do you think? I think there should be some more down that way. I just brought my camera with one lens because as you can tell it's midday. I don't know if I'm going to shoot anything or not, but more just in case. I do a lot of things where I just hike to check things out. I always make sure to get some iPhone photos though. Got a little bit of a slot canyon here. Nothing big, but a lot cooler in here, which is nice. Hi, Glacier. Yeah, I know, you're stuck down there. Definitely easier when you've got both your hands free, but I think I made it work. Good boy. This looks like an interesting hole up here. Check it out. Gotta learn how to talk without my weird pauses. I don't know when I developed that cadence, but it is a bit annoying now. See, I just did it again. So you can see some faint ones, more bighorn right here. I don't know what this is. You know, to me, it just looks like a spider. And there's like one more down over there. But the biggest thing you'll notice on this one is that. So I don't know how prevalent it is now, but it definitely used to be a pretty common thing where people will come in and cut these panels off to sell them. So you can see where somebody was definitely, you know, they've got the line going, trying to cut and remove this one. I don't know if somebody else came in, scared them off, what happened to stop them from that act, but there's a lot of panels that would still be in a lot of places if not for that. So definitely disappointing when you encounter it. It's, you know, nice that this one is actually still there at least, but I wish it didn't happen. And there it is, Spirit Arch. It's impressive to look at, and I'll say this coming from a point of where photographically I've been doing this for almost 20 years, visiting the West and the desert in the Southwest for most of my life, when I include trips with my family. While that is very interesting to look at, photographically, pretty meh. And don't mean that in a bad way, like it was still worth coming to see and coming to hike, but sometimes you gotta know when to just enjoy looking at something, taking something in, and when to enjoy photographing it. And what is interesting is I did see back this way something I had not planned to photograph, but looked pretty cool. So hopefully when I pick back up here, we'll check that out. You have to bear with me while I figure out all this 360 cam stuff. This is the new X4 with 8K. But anyways, this is what I saw earlier that I hadn't anticipated and planned on photographing, but looks really interesting to me. Kind of looks like, I don't know, patterns in Jupiter's atmosphere when you really look through the whole thing. So I'm just going to kind of play around with my camera here, see what I can come up with pattern wise. Glacier likes to get a shadow in my shots, as you can see. Glacier, move. Good boy. Pretty good for handheld, one hand. Just checking my sharpness. Now it might look a little overexposed on here. Check the histogram. We're a little bit high, but we're good to go. I have the monitor set to sunny brightness right now, and just to make it so I don't have to put it up to the viewfinder to look through. Be interesting to see what weird faces I'm making on the other side of this lens, since it looks at me while I'm taking photos. Okay, I'm near Factory Butte, as you can see over there. I'm gonna go check out some arches. I've driven by this many times, but again, another spot I have never gone to the effort of actually checking out, so figure now's a good time. I'm hoping to get some stormy photos. You can see that storm rolling in behind us with Factory Butte. But my luck last night and this morning with the storms was it petered out, even though it was looking really good up to the last minute there. So we'll see how that goes. It's like it's pretty windy, so hopefully it's better down in here. Looks like a pretty cool spot though. There goes Glacier. Looks like I found one of them. Pretty cool. So some people asked how I get photos of Glacier, And as you can see here, he's in a pretty photogenic spot. Now sometimes I do that, other times when I'm not paying attention and I was messing with my pack and camera, he's running around and he's usually pretty close, but he likes the view. And so he came up here because the view is good. On, buddy. Yeah. Stay right there. Got the little arch right there. So this is pretty cool. I was just exploring after I checked out those little mini arches everywhere and came across this. And I was trying to figure it out at first because I'm near a bunch of coal deposits. And I was like, this kind of looks like burnt wood, which in sort of a way it is. This is a petrified tree, or at least parts of one. And you can see up there is the stump. And it's kind of angled down, and these are the pieces of it. And it looks a lot different than most petrified wood I come across, but you can really tell when you get into pieces like this one here, you can see the rings of the tree. But if you ever think about a fire and how there's almost like, you know, the embers, the coal bits, and how they look, those chunky pieces of a log before it's completely burned down, and that's what this looks like. So another way I get images, just kind of driving around. Sometimes I've got an objective, which is the next spot I'm going to, but I can be bad about getting too focused in on that. And I was seeing this storm off here in the distance with those peaks, and it looked pretty incredible. And so finally I convinced myself to stop and throw on the long lens, and that's what I got.